we touched a little bit about probate. And as I had mentioned, what are the disadvantages of probate? 1, it is public. 2, it's more expensive. 3, you need to retain an attorney. You need to have the will admitted into court. 4, the judge appoints an executor and decides how your estate is going to be administered. 5, pretty much everybody knows what you own because the inventory is going to be filed in the county. What does that mean? Well, your loved ones, if they are minors or if they are young, everybody around the world can pretty much see by just logging into a site what you have left them, and they could be targets for people. Also, what we call probate is a lawsuit done against yourself with your own money for the benefit of your creditors, because you have to give notice to creditors. Creditors get the first step, and after that is everybody else, including your beneficiaries. That is, in essence, in a nutshell, the issue with probate, or the disadvantage of probate, if you want to call it that. So how do you avoid probate? The only 100% way to really avoid probate, this kind of a probate, not the guardianship probate, is to create a trust. How do you create a trust? Well, you go to an attorney and then you talk about how creation of a trust happens and how you get it drafted. And the other thing that you need to know is that a trust alone does not avoid probate. A trust will avoid probate only if all of your assets are in the trust at the time of death. That's not always possible, but it is definitely something that can be done if you work with the right attorney, if you have the right advisors, if you know that you're able to make beneficiaries and designate your trust as a beneficiary and have the trust own your assets in the right way. And along the way, as you have made your estate plan doesn't just sit on your nightstand or on a shelf in a beautiful binder. It is one that actually gets looked at, reviewed, and you make sure that your assets every year annually are in that trust. There are people who will just give you that binder and you'll forget about it. And there are people who will actually show you, guide you through the years on how to keep that relevant, how to make sure that all your assets are in the trust. And that is the way, my friends, that you can avoid probate. So now you have a question, or well, a question to yourself. Do you want to avoid probate or not? If you want to avoid probate, you need a fully funded trust. And I explained to you what funding a trust is. It is actually having assets either owned by a trust or the trust being the beneficiary of those assets. Or you can have a will and you can have probate. And I gave you all the disadvantages of that. Now that you know what both of them are, you can decide how you want to proceed. Now let's talk about what happens when you come to my office and I talk with you.